Woo, this is something. Let's see how I want to do this. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. I really consider this a beautiful opportunity to speak to you about something that's very important to me. For 40 years I've spoken to you about peace, prosperity, and joy that was designed to be a choice that you could make. And I've also expressed that we live on a planet where that doesn't exist anywhere. I have also indicated to you that every government on the face of the earth is designed to deny that peace and prosperity and joy that we all want to live in. Every government. And just like here in America, we don't say that democracy is the greatest, but we say that it's better than communism, socialism, and fascism, and the like. Well, we also say our language is pretty good. And we say our religion is top notch. No one can compare to that, even though it was brought here. And so what we will say that wherever our religion exists, it's the greatest, and it is our ambition to get it all over the world. Well, that is the same propagandic edit that every other country gives its people. Communism is the best country. It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest can be, but it's better than all of the rest. Socialism is the best country. That's what their people hear. It's better. It's not super duper. It's not perfect, but it's better than all the rest. That's what the people hear. And so they choose their own, and whatever it stands for, they go along with it until Christ is overcome. And the truth of the matter, ladies and gentlemen, is that Christ is due overcome. And just like we got these distinctions in government, they are at odds with one another because basically they exist on being able to exploit not just the people, but any other people that they can exploit. And that might be people in another territory, people in another nation. So the exploitation goes on as they strive to be better than everything else. This is why you can hear a president in one nation say, "We are the greatest nation on the face of the earth." They say that because they feel that they got that power. And what do they consider power that would cause anyone to bend down to the extent that you could stick a pole up their butt? And that's the ability to kill them. And when you have dropped nuclear atom bombs on people and wiped them out, people know what you'll do. And yet, if you were a power that didn't want to be bullied, if you know this will happen, then you will exert the opportunity to do everything you possibly can to make sure that that never happens to you. And if somebody slips up on you, you want to surprise them and let them know that the button they pushed might have been their own. That's just the way of life outside of the perfect way. And here I go, ladies and gentlemen. What I want you to really understand is this. In the United States of America, presidential election of 2016, the powers that be put up two individuals, one representing the Republican Party, one representing the Democratic Party. And they chose some candidates who had ridden. I'm telling you, they had ridden the tides to get there. What does that mean? That means they've done any number of things that would have taken the average people down. But because of their ambition, because of their commitment to whatever it is, they were able and permitted to ride the tide to be used as a time such as this, such as the presidential election of 2016. These people, when I'm talking about riding the tide, I mean they're getting away with all kinds of sins, getting away with all kinds of evil things according to the law. And I'm not talking about God's law. I'm talking about the natural, the nation's law. And so now, you have these two people who have ridden the tide all the way there, representing all the things that we say we're not about. And they are your choices. And what do you say? You say, well, they are not good, but the one that I'm supporting is better than the other one. That's the same viewpoint of every nation on the face of the earth. That nation. We're not the best, but we're better than they. And so the whole concept of life in the world is, it's not the best, but it's better than the other. So I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, what is life? What is life? Life is freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from the dead. And so what is being dead? Dead is anything that happens that you are not pleased with, that you don't want to happen, and it happens and hurts you and others. Freedom is liberty. You don't have a government telling you that you can't kill yourself if you want to. That's your business. I mean, that's one business that nobody got anything else to do with but you. They can't control it. Can they stop it? Well, they got no business with it. Who can tell you what you can eat and what you can't eat? Except you. Who can tell you can't sit on your porch on the step and smoke you a marijuana stick if you want it? What government has the right to rob you of that portion of your life? So I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not just talking about these governments. I'm talking about everybody within these systems of government. That is you. These governments could not exist without you. You who are under the socialists, you're the ones who says, okay, I'll put up with it. You who are under the capitalists, you're the ones who says, okay, I'll put up with it. You who are under fascism, you're the one who says it's okay, I'll put up with it. And when I go and bring this same conversation to racists, especially in the United States of America, I have seen the most despicable hate and violence that could ever be perpetrated on a humankind by a humankind. I listen to black people who would talk about white people like they don't know. And let me tell you, there are some people who are very articulate about this. They can talk about them much better than I can. People like the Dr. Martin Luther King, who had a nice way of putting it. Malcolm's way wasn't so nice. We talk about people like Khalid Muhammad. He really put it on the money. You hear Khalid talk, and if you're a black person, you sit back and agree with everything that he says as being true in relationship to how white people have treated black people. And so he calls them devils. And when they say, well, we're not a devil, he say, well, you're acting like one. I didn't know that you weren't. And yet, I could not go along with that kind of rhetoric. When I hear white people say all that ugly stuff about black people, I don't agree with mostly any of it. And so I look at Khalid talking about a white person, and the first thing I do, I jump over there in my white skin, and I listen to a black man talk about me like that. There ain't gonna be no peace. I guarantee you there is no peace. And on the face of the earth, if anybody's trying to live right, there should be no peace on earth. To have peace, there must be justice. To have peace, there must be fairness. To have peace, there must be compassion. To have peace, there must be a recognition that you can't live without the other.